South Africa in the past 2 years, and each trip I see more and more decay and decline in the collapse of South Africa's infrastructure and the lives of South Africans. So many lives destroyed by the illegitimate actions of the government during the lockdown. So many lives destroyed by racist legislation that impoverishes all South Africans, black, white, and brown. What I can say is it's heartbreaking to see such an amazing country with such natural beauty and such wonderful human capital potential suffer. 2024 saw a seismic election in South Africa, one in which the ruling African National Congress was finally brought down to size and fell to just 40.2% of the vote. Going forward, what happens? Well, now a so-called government of national unity, which is really nothing more than a coalition between the African National Congress, the Democratic Alliance, the Inkatha Freedom Party, and now new parties which have joined it, the Good Party and the Patriotic Alliance. Really just an alliance. Will this agreement work for the benefit of South Africans? Well, only if the kleptocratic, opaque, thin-skinned, hidebound African National Congress somehow manages to turn itself from a party of liberation, which it had little to do with, into a ruling political party today. Do I have much hope for this? I don't know. The results of the election were the best, least worst option for South Africans, despite the rantings of racists from the MK party and the EFF and some in the ANC itself, and also parties like Al Jamaa. This is the best, least worst option. South Africans are suffering, ladies and gentlemen. Rich, poor, doesn't matter. This country is in free fall, and it's sad. It's truly sad. It's heartbreaking to watch. Such an amazing place go through such trauma. In the 2 years I've been coming here, my past 4 trips, I've met people repeatedly. Some of them each trip. And I see the declining fortunes of black, white, and brown South Africans suffering through a stagnant economy, crippling inflation, government overreach, racial division stoked by political activists, while South Africans, by and large, just want to get along. They love each other, and they want to be left alone in peace. And it breaks the heart to see this garbage going on. Today is a new morning, June 17th. It's a bright day here on the Vaal River. Will it be a new day for South Africa? That's the language the media are using, a new dawn. I don't know about that. But South Africa has one more opportunity to right the ship, to stop the listing to starboard. The African National Congress must begin to govern with humility in coalition with its partners, and its partners must not be excited by the chance to finally get their turn to eat. They must govern as servant leaders, or South Africans will continue to suffer. The ramshackle tin shacks that I drove past driving here to the river, where people dump their garbage less than 100 meters from where they live, should be a thing of the past. Abject poverty in South Africa has tripled or gotten even worse since the African National Congress took over the country. Yet they blame Jan van Riebeck and Hendrik Verwoerd, and certainly blame can be laid there. But the truth of the matter is that the ruling party long ago forgot why they're in political office, just like our politicians in the United States, in the UK, in Germany, in France, around the world. You're there to serve us. We're not your serfs. We don't serve you. You kleptocratic, thieving, race-hustling bastards serve us, the people. We, the polity, are the ones who put you there. And your job is to be a servant leader, to protect and preserve the interest of your citizens. But that isn't what happens, and it is tragic beyond belief. Once again, another chance for South Africa. Will this country go forward? We shall see. There is no commodities boom to help inflate the economy artificially. So it's time for politicians to stop stealing and start serving. Stop stealing, start serving. We'll see if the ANC and its coalition partners are up to this. Meanwhile, the MK is threatening violence, calling election illegitimate, claiming it won. What a ludicrous claim. This party did wildly better than anyone, including themselves, expected. Yet they intend to tarnish the election. And the ANC, but not the ANC, they blame it all on Ramaphosa. Of course, the man doing this was his boss, Jacob Zuma, when he was the deputy president. They were birds of a feather, and they were flocking together during the state capture era. And Jacob Zuma's feelings are hurt because everyone's dismissing him. Perhaps the old man should just go back to Nkanwa and his ill-gotten gains and be happy about that and forget about the rest. In the meantime, South Africans, as I said, continue to struggle with collapsing infrastructure, electricity, although seeing no load shedding on this trip, mostly because nearly 6 gigawatts of electricity generation is now off-grid, being done by homeowners and businesses, not relying on the government-owned utility Eskom to bring them electricity. They're doing it on their own. As Afrikaners would say, self-bestuur, self-sufficiency, standing on your own. That's what South Africans have to do. A new day will never dawn in this country with corrupt politicians, and it will certainly never dawn while people expect handouts, others to do things for them instead of doing for themselves. Now, my belief is that most people prefer to do things for themselves rather than receive handouts. It's demeaning. But politicians want you to believe handouts are the future and the path forward. Basic income grant. Virtually every party in this government has offered a basic income grant. That's nonsense. You shouldn't get money just because you're alive. You should earn money because you earn it. Provide for you and your family. Anyway, folks, it is heartbreaking for me. People who were in good shape 2 years ago, despite the COVID scam, managed to hold on, keep their businesses and their jobs. So many of them I've met over the past years have lost those businesses, lost those jobs, had their contracts ended because they're too old, or they're too white, or they're too brown, or they're too not part of the cater crowd. This is what retards economic growth. This is what stuns society. This is what damages society. While politicians like Jacob Zuma and Julius Malema run around spouting racial hatred, the coalition that's formed, albeit called a government of national unity, is talking about unity and solidarity and togetherness and reconciliation. Those are the words of the ANC in control of the ANC, the Democratic Alliance, and the Inkatha Freedom Party. It's time for politicians to get on board and be part of that march. Because quite frankly, they're just vile and repulsive, and it's a shame. Well, folks, from the Vaal River, this is Chris live on a beautiful Monday morning. The day Youth Day is observed officially, a holiday, even though the date was yesterday. So, like in America, when the holiday falls on a weekend, you get the day before or the day after as a holiday. So please enjoy your Youth Day. If you are in the Gauteng area and you would like to come to a meet and greet, we'll be meeting at Monte Casino at the Seattle Coffee at noontime today, after I drive well over 100 kilometers back north to get there. Thank you so much. God bless. Be safe out there. And wherever you find yourself around the world, whether it's New Zealand, Nepal, Ireland, UK, Canada, US, or here in the southern tip of Africa, be safe. Love each other. Don't take any wooden nickels. As I always tell you, they don't work in the slot machines. God bless and take care.